Hi everyone and welcome on this new video where I'll unbox and review the XRAYPAD Speed. So we'll start off by opening the first box, and we will get this one. It says here Aqua Speed Black, 500 by 500 by 3 millimeters. Now, of course, I had it open already, like these pads. I've used them in the past. Yet again, this plasticky thing. And this is the pad. Aqua Speed here. The logo always on the bottom right. So yes, this pad is also supposed to be waterproof, sweatproof and everything. I mean, same as all the others, but this one actually is. The surface, I mean, it's alright. Just there's not too much grip. It's another one of those like semi-hybrid pads, supposed to be like fast and controlled, but in reality it's mostly controlled. Okay, sleeve test, straight off. I'll actually try with the Lyzard skins. When I bought this pad, I always wanted to use one of these, but they are really hard to find and they're not really worth it actually. Like, way too expensive for what they actually offer. But yeah, I have a few of these. I just found them somewhere. So y-axis, terrible. X-axis is fine actually. I'll just rotate the pad. Now it's the opposite. X-axis is really bad, y-axis is pretty good. Although on the other pad, the Aqua Control Plus, there was not such thing. Like it was most like consistent on 3 out of 4 axes usually, which is weird still, but that's just how it was. So yes, vertical movements will be hard, but you can play this pad mostly on tactical shooters or games where you don't track heavily on the y-axis. Now I will use the Ghostglides Secondskin. Good on the y-axis and on the x-axis. Let's see if it changes something by rotating the pad. Bad on the x-axis and still good on the y-axis. As I said, like, I don't know why this happens. I mean, I kind of get it. Like, from the way that the pad and the sleeve is woven, but at the same time, it should be, you know, like consistent as it was with this other sleeve. But I'm just reporting my experience. I think I have used these sleeve and on the y-axis before. I mean, like years ago, and on the y-axis it should be bad. It's alright. Yeah, it's better on the x-axis, but there's not as much drag as for the Lyzard skins. So I'll just rotate the pad. So why am I rotating the pad anyway? I've had, and I still have, although like I'm not using it anymore like that. Sometimes I played with my pad like this, or people might want to rotate it. Of course, it depends on the dimension. In this case, 500 by 500, there's no point, but if you have 45 by 50 centimeters, it might make sense, you know, depending on whether or not you want the longest side on the y-axis or the x-axis. Anyway, they are both bad now, like genuinely both bad. X is worse, Y is better. So yes, I guess I will not use this one. So the Amazon sleeve, or whatever it was, this should be terrible, like actually fine for the x-axis, worse than the others. Wow. On the y-axis I can feel the drag. I think it can be heard as well on the microphone. Let's see if by rotating it something happens. Y is decent, X is terrible. Yes, so this one is consistent. Wouldn't use that one ever. This is the other one. £1 worth of sleeve. Wow, it's the best one so far on both axes. Okay, yeah, fair enough. And rotating the pad makes it terrible on the x-axis and a bit slower on the y-axis, but still decent. Now we'll go for my favorites. Wow, very, very smooth. Both axes. Let's see now. Terrible. Decent. Okay. TBTL V1. Wow, even better. Like a lot better. Unplayable. Worse than before. So yes, I mean, it's not a surprise. So I might want to use the one of these few last ones. They were not bad. My favorite comes in play. I mean, just as smooth as this one. I don't really feel a difference. Let's see if we rotate here. It's bad, but not the worst, and y-axis is definitely not the best. So this pad can be roughly used with this normal orientation with any of these sleeve. Not this one. So Pulsar, Ghostglides, TBTL V2, random Amazon sleeve with some Spandex, and TBTL V1, and of course, I mean, not a surprise, the goat of all, Talon Games GT Purple one. So now I will be playing some Overwatch, just aim training to see if these sleeves actually are better than playing with my arm with no sleeve. So while playing again, I did not notice any drag on the pad. The pad didn't move at all, at least, I mean, from the base of the pad. So if I do this, it's a little bit easier than on, of course, now it lost most of its surface and it's raised. Yeah, at the same time, this one moves a lot more than the Control Plus, and I'll now do the test to see if it's actually waterproof. Okay, so now I'll get a drop from my glass. I'll drop it on top of it, and I might even get a few more, or actually just just move it. So as you can see, water just stays perfectly on top of the surface. Some of it though looks like it's being absorbed, which is not perfect, but at the same time the pad is not new, okay? And I think I've washed it as well, so it's normal to have some spots. But yeah, usually most of the pad surface will behave like this, and it's actually pretty fun to do. So yeah, let's place it all here. Let's make a big bubble. There we go. This is bad. It's not a bad one. If you want a waterproof, and it's not that slow, it's not that fast either, but it's a pretty good pad overall. So in 2025 or 2026 now, if you want a waterproof pad, you may as well try this one. So yeah, I have to say this pad is decent. I wouldn't play it. I wouldn't play Overwatch on it, but it's not that bad. So what I would recommend on doing is probably getting a faster pad. Of course, you can play with any pad, but personally, for me, I don't feel that comfortable with this. Also, without the sleeve, this is I cannot move my arm. I find it really hard. So yeah, the pad is not bad at all. I would mostly play it on a tactical shooter, and I know it doesn't make sense to test it here maybe, but at the same time you want to see its limits. And yeah, it's really hard to pull down and everything. Changing direction as well is pretty hard.